I've been working really hard to get back to full health, and I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle kind of didn't allow me to really see where my groin was at. It was, I think, my second full court workout back when we were in.
You saw the title. Yes, this is about Caitlin Clark going right at Aya Wilson in a live practice run. But what actually happened on the possession everyone's talking about? We're breaking down the exact sequence that flipped the gym. Stay a second. The step back three, the crossover into the lane, and how Clark used quick release reads against Wilson's length. We'll show you why veterans on the floor reacted the way they did, and what it signals for the league's pecking order this season. Everyone keeps looping that clip because one trip down the floor told the whole story. Live 5, on 5, coaches running a hard clock and no dead ball coaching. High screen comes, the hedge is iced, so the big stays home and Wilson takes the switch clean. Now it's Clark above the slot with the ball and the best defender in the gym right in front of her. No space, no comfort dribble, just a tight window and a shrinking timer. Wilson shades left to sit on the pull-up Clark likes after one bounce. That first read is gone fast. The lane looks sealed, the nail is loaded, and the weak side is ready to stunt. Clark doesn't force it. She plants her feet outside the logo like she might rise from deep, shoulders up, ball high. Wilson's hand is there early, contest straight up, long arm over the top. That's the cue. Clark drops from that show into a low gather, knees bent, ball tight to her hip. She resets her base without losing her dribble, and now the angle shifts. Here's the handle piece. Outside in crossover to the weak hand, sharp and compact. Two strong dribbles straight to the nail. Wilson's stride eats ground, closing what looked open. Clark doesn't race her to the rim. She uses angles. Inside shoulder turns across Wilson's chest. Not a push, not an extension, just a legal hip bump to hold a slice of space. That tiny line is all she needs to keep the contest from smothering the ball. Now it's the decision tree. Floater over help, or kick to the corner. Strong side, help steps in from the corner for a beat. Clark's eyes shift just long enough to freeze that tag. Not a full head turn, just a flash. The corner defender pauses, unsure if the pass is coming. That pause buys her the next beat. From there, you get two different releases on two different reps. On the first, Wilson reads the drive and sits on the lane, so Clark snaps back to the right. A clean snatch that sends her behind the line. She doesn't load long. Quick lift, high release, and a relocation three with a tiny drift to avoid the close. The timing is the whole play. If she waits a tenth longer, Wilson's hand is into the window. Instead, the ball is up and gone while Wilson is still gathering her second step. Later in the run, the same start turns into the paint touch. Same outside in cross, same two dribbles to the nail, but this time Clark engages the body a hair earlier. That pre-contact separation means she isn't trying to create space midair against length. Help leans, eyes freeze again, and she lifts a soft float off glass before the second contest gets there. Touch, arc, and a quick release from the midline. Two answers to the same problem, elite length closing fast. What made it echo was the layering. Footwork that sells one thing, a gather that resets without panic, handle that stays tight under pressure, and eyes that move defenders without over-dribbling. Wilson's coverage takes away the first plan. Clark doesn't fight it. She takes what the defense gives, but on her clock, not theirs. The gym reacted to that rhythm shift. It wasn't luck or a heat check. It was recognition, plus the guts to pull the trigger on the right beat. Now that the viral clip is sorted, let's see if those deep pull-ups and quick reads still hold when the MVP takes away airspace over a string of reps. So if Wilson squeezes the air out of the shot, how did Clark still find daylight from deep? It starts with where she sets up. She stretches the floor to 3 lanes, straight on logo range, that high slot just off center, and the right wing where she likes to load the step back. From the logo, she uses the quick hop, both feet under her fast, no dip, ball already at the right shoulder. From the high slot, it's one rhythm bounce into the rise. On the right wing, she prefers a lateral step back, resetting her feet so the inside foot slides back first and the outside foot pins the angle. Each spot gives her a different escape if the contest flies late. Wilson's length shaves the mark. The wrinkle that tilts it is the early drag at 28 feet. The big trailing Clark angles the screen higher than normal, which forces Wilson to decide in space. Switch high, and you're guarding a pull-up 2 steps past the line. Sit back, and she's stepping into rhythm. On 1 rep, Wilson climbs over the top, but the drag has already nudged her hips. Clark plants, slides left off the screen, and shoots on the hop before the body can square. On another, Wilson switches high, and Clark rejects the screen, taking 1 dribble right to force the recovery, then snaps back into the step back because the angle is now clean. Timing shows up in numbers, even in practice pace. Closeouts at this level eat ground fast, and 1/10 of a second matters. Clark trims that by keeping the ball high and cutting the dip. Compare that to an average closeout window, and you see why a hand that used to bother the shot now trails it. Less motion before the lift, more speed into the release, and the contest lands a frame late. Her pass threat feeds the jumper. She hits the corner on a skip twice, one on the strong side when the stunt comes early, and one weak side off a live dribble when the low man cheats. Then she finds the short roll with a touch pass, which makes Wilson hesitate on the next stunt. That half step of doubt is enough. Now the step back isn't just a shot. It's a response to a defender who has to sit on 3 different outcomes. Body control keeps the form clean against the reach. On drift 3s, she leans away from the hand, but keeps her shoulders square midair. The feet land inside first, then outside, which lets her stop the slide and hold the follow-through without fading long. After catching a hard bump from Wilson on one contest, she tweaks the separation point, creates space before the gather with a quick hip turn and a shorter last step, so she isn't trying to carve room in the air. That's why the back-to-back step-backs drop. The reads stack up, drive is live, pass is live, and the pull-up gets the cleanest window because the defense respects the first 2. And once the jumper holds, the whole gym shifts. Now she can go downhill, process help on the fly, and lean into the crossover that had the sideline up. Let's get into how that move cracked the paint and popped the crowd. Clark handled Wilson's reach by adjusting pace, changing her gather point, and stacking reads on the fly. She turned contests into late hands, then punished the next stunt with a live dribble dime or a quick lift from deep. That's solving length, not surviving it. So if this is the baseline in practice, what happens when teams chase her to 30 feet every night? Drop your take in the comments and name the next matchup you want broken down. Stay locked in, because next video we dig into top lock coverage on her off-ball routes and how it frees the short roll for clean catch and finish sequences.